Alright, good night everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome.
To the Merch Podcast.
Yes.
We've missed you all for quite a while, and we know that you all would have missed us too. You all would have been hearing a lot of, first of all, thanks for sticking around and waiting. As you know, we had some technical difficulties, as it goes with the technology sometimes.
And we were entertaining them with our with our show, our background show. I mean, you weren't seeing anything, but we prayed and we just want to thank God for coming through.
Yeah.
Amen.
For us, and let us know if you're hearing us still in the chat.
Beautiful. So guys, we're happy to be back. We have taken a long hiatus from being with you. It has been so many months, we've lost count, but we're here again. We're here to start back up this thing and to keep it going. And so we're happy that you would have joined us again here at the Merch Podcast. Kareina, tell them some of the things that were happening while we were away.
Well, hold on, let me get a little comfortable here. Yes. So while we were away, we actually, life has just been happening, but we have been planning and executing certain programs. Earlier this year, we would have had our Love Boat experience in February, and we would have the last podcast you all saw was in Tobago, because we said I do at the plantations, and we have been planning for the next end of year event coming up at the end of this year.
Yeah. So guys, we've been busy behind the scenes. The Merge team has been busy. Shout out if there are any Merge members online. If there aren't any yet, we encourage you to share this live. Let's build it up. This evening we have an exciting topic to treat with. But guys, as we say, we have a lot of stuff in the making. If you are married, if you are planning to get married and you haven't joined the Merge group yet, reach out to us. You can reach out to us at 731-0374. That number again, 731-0374. And you can become a Merge member. Now, becoming a Merge member has benefits.
Okay.
Karina, tell us. I understand that when you become a Merge member, you get a Merge card. Tell us, what are some of the benefits of having that Merge membership card?
Well, with regard to the card, you actually get a year's subscription, and you get a percentage off at certain service providers, which include agencies like ABC. We have a mechanic on board. We have other institutions and service providers, right?
Yeah.
So you get percentages off, and you get all of the Merge benefits that you can handle.
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about for a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting a good percentage off when you're going to fix your car is important. We helping all the family here. We saving all some money. Alright? Getting your discounts on your healthy food at different outlets and stuff is important. But at Merge, when you become a Merge member, you also get discounted rates off of all of our events. So next year, Love Boat, the boat cruise is going to be bigger, it's going to be better. You can't afford to miss it. If you're a member, you have the discounted rates. This end of year program, discounted rates. As a matter of fact, just now we have a family day for Merge coming up. And for all those Merge members, there are lots of benefits to reap from being a Merge member. And of course, the community at Merge is just growing, and it's just wonderful. And so we inviting all of you to join us at Merge. Again, that number 731-0374 for any of our programs. Just before we get into tonight's program, I just want to mention before we hop off onto our topic for tonight, we have an annual marriage retreat. Because we said I Do is the name or the brand of our annual marriage retreat. Been doing it for more than a decade now. And this year, the sub-theme for this year is Une soirée romantique.
Please, do not bite your tongue.
Yeah, my French? En français. Oui.
You have David cracking up here like really jaded.
Yeah. No.
So it sounds like a French team, at least from what I'm getting. an evening of romance. That's
Yes.
what it's translated to mean.
In
And
Paris.
in where?
Paris.
Alright,
Paris,
thanks so
Paris,
much.
how you say?
So this is happening from Saturday the 6th of December to Sunday the 7th, and I mean I'm seeing it all over the Merge page and on websites and on WhatsApp and stuff, and it's one marriage retreat, I understand, but 3 events.
3 events.
3 events.
Yep.
Tell me about that a
The
little.
first event, we have Love Unlocked. It is the
Alright.
largest, the best platform for love and relationships. Whether you're single, you're in a relationship, or you're married, you can come down to Central Bank. That's December the 6th.
Central Bank or Central Bank?
Central Bank Auditorium. What if it's Central Bank?
You're there already.
You're there already, essentially. Central Bank Auditorium, December the 6th. It's a Sabbath days program, so you're going to start from the morning, 9:30, and have a wonderful program all about relationship. We have some local celebrities,
Alright.
yes, that will be there to share with us, how to find meaningful relationships in a modern era.
Okay.
So that's one part of the 3 events in one. Then we have your night stay at the Hyatt, which is a wonderful experience. You have continental breakfast for 2. And you avail yourselves of the pool and all the facilities. Some of us need to avail ourselves of the gym. And of course, we can't forget, at the Saturday night, we have a wonderful banquet planned. Now there's another location we're going to for that.
Undisclosed location.
Undisclosed.
Okay.
I tell you, it's a lovely location, but you're going to take your loved one from the Hyatt and you're going to be shuttled over to that venue where we're going to have an evening of romance in Paris. So guys, brush up the French, because you have some French
or
to be
learn
speaking.
some French if you don't know any.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to
It's
be
going to be
wonderful.
awesome, just as last year was awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean on the plantations, if you saw our last live, it was lit. People were over the moon about it, and it was just I mean David said he watched it live, so
Yeah, I was watching it live.
so
You're walking around in people's rooms.
Yeah,
who knows, we might be on location again, but I mean we want you to join us there in live.
I just want to share some of the comments that we
Sure,
had
sure.
coming out of last year's event. It's not a gimmick thing. This is what people actually said. We didn't ask them for responses. This was volunteer. One person says, "Wow and wow." Talking about last year's event, this event surpassed my own wedding day,
my.
which was 18 years ago. First of all, it was a simple affair. This renewal made me feel like this was the gathering I missed at my wedding. I have to thank Pastor and Sister Central together with their team for making this event a memorable one that we will always remember from now in the future. We have so many comments here. Someone says, "What a wonderful experience, words can hardly express." And this particular individual says, "Good morning, I don't know how the previous events were." Apparently it was their first time.
Okay.
"I don't know how the previous events were, but if they were better than this, my God, this was close to perfection as it can get. This was as close to perfection as it can get. Pastor Central and your team, thank you from the deepest recesses of our hearts. May God continue to bless you in this wonderful calling you have embraced."
I mean, come on. If
Yeah,
that
that didn't touch you.
if that
Go
didn't
on.
touch you, and you want to feel like that, we invite you to come out to our end of year. I'm not even going to try to say the name of the end of year event.
Yeah, don't.
Alright, you leave that for Jayden. At the end of the year, and as we progress in the podcast, we'll keep giving you updates on the progress of registering and all of those good things. But we have a young gentleman with us here tonight, Jayden.
Of course, well, he's not a guest here anymore.
No, he's like a regular.
He is a regular, and you're going to be seeing more and more of him with us here. He brings a certain level of life and perspective to the podcast.
It's so tough.
Yeah, so David, glad to have you with us. What you been up to?
Thanks for inviting me once again. What I've been up to, boy, living life. I'm alive, thank God I'm alive. Thank God for health, for strength. And I'm just grateful to be here. Thanks for inviting me once again. What I've been up to, working as every adult should be.
Wow! Lovely.
Yeah,
No shade.
boy.
Don't throw no shade for nobody.
Cool.
So David is here to talk about an interesting topic, Jayden.
Yes. David, tell us what topic we're talking about.
And so the topic is deal breakers versus pet peeves. Am I correct? Yes? No?
Yes.
Right, absolutely correct. So yeah, the topic is deal breakers.
Deal breakers, yes.
They wanted me to share some deal breakers. Probably I might be controversial or not, but I will listen to the questions they have and I'll try to respond as best and honestly as possible.
So before we get into the topic of deal breakers, it is important to note that there is a difference between a deal breaker and a pet peeve.
Alright.
In your opinion, what is the difference between a deal breaker and a pet peeve?
So I'll give the definition for the deal breaker.
Yeah.
A deal breaker is something you just can't get past. Like that is okay, if she does this or if he does that, we cannot work out the relationship, cannot work out the marriage, cannot work out. So in my mind that would be a deal breaker, like the deal off the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think like pet peeves could be something that kind of annoys you more than anything. It's like a little annoyance or little thing that somebody may have that kind of annoys you, but you can live with it. It's not that you can't live with it, but sometimes it could tick you off, and it's not as serious to end a relationship.
But question, could the deal breaker, could the pet peeve turn into a deal breaker?
Jayden and I, we were talking about something like that, could it evolve?
Guys, what do you think online?
Yeah, let us know, because we have...
Can a pet peeve become a deal breaker? We have
about 24, 26 persons on, and we just want to shout out our viewers who've been commenting in the chat: Jillian Ovid, Sabrina Nichols, Cleon Alexander, Sandra, Rennie Sentil, Brian Thompson. Thanks so much.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah, he wanted to know why you were so serious.
I'm so serious. Probably, I don't know. My face, I do try not to look like a clown tonight.
Alright. Lovely. See how that will come. But yeah, so that's what I think about a pet peeve deal breaker situation.
So guys online, we're gonna wait for you. We know there's a little bit of delay from when we speak to when you answer. Can a pet peeve turn into a deal breaker? I think it's important to note as we set the platform to go forward that a deal breaker is something that's personal. It may not necessarily be a universal thing. So what may be a deal breaker for David may not be a deal breaker for me. So when we're speaking tonight about things, we're not throwing no stones in nobody's garden, because what may be a deal breaker for you may not be a deal breaker for me, and what may be a deal breaker for me may not be so for you.
Yes, and we have our very, very gifted audio tech with us tonight, and he just put a poll in the chat, so you can click can a pet peeve become a deal breaker, and give us a little indication of the temperature of the viewers, what they're thinking, how they feel about this pet peeve evolving into a deal breaker. What do you think? Vote. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to know what the people want, what do people think.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So come on, deal breakers, while they deliberate. Come on, deal breakers. I understand that deal breakers can really be anything,
Yeah.
It just depends upon the individual.
Yeah.
But should I, and I'm asking us here, should I judge if is there any way to judge if a deal breaker that should be a deal breaker for somebody? Let's say, for example, somebody is in a relationship where they're not married, but somebody cheat on them, and they have a habit of being unfaithful. Is there anybody out there that may say that is not a deal breaker for them?
There probably would be that person that'll say that is not a deal breaker for them, but the person who is cheating definitely has to be really rich. That is the only circumstance that will not be a deal breaker. That's the only circumstance I see that would not be a deal breaker. Person is very wealthy.
The person very wealthy.
Yeah.
Well, that is David's interpretation, guys. Let us know what you think. What do you think? Is that? I mean, other common deal breakers are like, okay, maybe political affiliation. I mean, we
for sure.
just had an election, right?
Yeah.
And Trinidad and Tobago would have been politically charged. So imagine living in a home with someone who's a different political affiliated than you are. And to me, that kind of aligns with like your ideologies or your values or whatever. You don't think that's a common deal breaker? Or,
I think it could definitely be a deal breaker, depending. I call no political party,
right.
but it could be sometimes I use which party somebody supports to judge their line of thinking.
Okay.
Like, so if I know somebody just blindly supports a party, no matter what they do, that is just, and you are this still are dead, I know that person kind of So to me, your rockers, you're on your rockers are off your rockers slightly. So it could be a deal breaker. Like, you're such a fanatic of a party, no matter what they could. Pelt you with a big stone, you take any bus head and say I'm still voting for them. That's a deal breaker for me, because it shows that you have no standard or no way. Okay, that is it. We are the past stop to this, So that could be a deal breaker.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing somebody commenting in the chat here. Nichols, read it for Nicola.
Nicola is saying it can cross the line from a minor annoyance to a major relationship red flag. So she's speaking about pet peeves becoming deal breakers. So crossing that line from an annoyance that I originally defined it as to a major relationship red flag, a peeve in her opinion could evolve. And hi Nicola, thanks for joining. I believe this is Nicola Map.
Tell her, give us an example.
Give us an example, Nicola. We want to engage you. And Boyd Gibson is saying, a deal breaker is like an atomic bomb to the relationship. A pet peeve can get under your skin, but it should not become a deal breaker if you are willing to be in a committed relationship.
All right. So that's deep.
Some of the feedback that we get.
That's deep. Guys, we want to encourage you to, as we continue, to just like the video, please, and subscribe. It would really do a lot for us as we try to move this channel forward to kind of reach more people. So if you just take the moment now and please just like and subscribe.
How you saying it? So somebody give them a little energy, like and subscribe. Hear what? I have a challenge. Let me see the person who liked this video and share it with as many persons as possible. On the next podcast, we have something for you.
That's how you give prizes.
We have something for you. I think
we have a finance meeting. Just volunteer it.
What are the ones?
Put it in the chat and we will see how best we could facilitate that.
And here David, put all your ones.
Yeah, put all your ones. If it's a Porsche, Cayenne, a piece of land in Valsin.
But the vote actually is like 67% of people said that a pet peeve could become a deal breaker.
Just changed to 70.
Oh, 70% said a pet peeve could become a deal breaker. 30% said no, it can't. Put some zest on the talk, Jay. Brian, say put some zest on the talk.
Brian, I hope you subscribe, because I will go and look right now to see if you subscribe there. Only talking Brian.
So if it is your wants, whatever you want, like from us, put it in the chat. And then you need to back it up by sharing and sending us a screenshot or something, of how many times how many times you share the link.
Guys, that's how desperate we are. We want
so we can grow. Because we haven't been here for a while, we missed you all, and I'm hoping that you all missed us too. Thanks for joining. Right?
So getting back to what we're talking about in terms of deal breakers and stuff, and deal breakers can be really hard, but a deal breaker in a person who is unmarried is treated differently from a deal breaker, or is different from a deal breaker for somebody that is married. Would you agree?
Yes, because I think it will probably be much more difficult to break a marriage than probably a relationship. So that you'll have to take more into consideration in terms of deal breakers in a marriage. It will have to be absolutely serious, like, oh gosh, this household cannot move on until this is addressed. So
Well, the thing about it is that, so when we're talking about married, and we're going to speak about married people deal breakers first.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about married people, there isn't much stuff that should be a deal breaker.
Because you should have already discussed that already.
Yes.
Yeah.
And outside of that
any
too,
marital covenant
when
as well.
when you look at the marital covenant and the word deal breaker, you literally sign away a deal there. You sign a lifelong deal there, you know. And that's why we try to encourage people spend time to get to know the person before you sign that deal with them. Get to know the individual, because the truth
Get
is,
to know their families as well, because
get to know their families. Suppose
That's some crazy family.
suppose man father is a stalker, you understand? Coming by your house and minding their business. You understand? You have to be careful.
Or a gunman or a drug pusher.
You understand?
All of the above. So you want to be very careful. You want to do as much work before you get married, because ultimately a deal breaker. Some people get married and they say, when I get married, I get surprises.
Yeah.
Well, you try to diminish to some degree those surprises by the amount of time you take before you get married, learning about the individual.
And that's important, because it's not just the amount of time you take, because for certain relationships you could say probably I'm in a relationship with this person for like 5 years or whatever, but when you check the contact time and the experiences that you would have shared, the things you would have done together, you know, it may not be a lot, and you wouldn't have gathered that much information, wisdom, knowledge for you to inform your decision. So although you're taking the time, the important thing you said is to learn the person, learn the situation, their how they grew up, their worldviews, all the ideologies, to know if it have any potential deal breakers or pet peeves that may come about.
And I guess one thing too as well, but because I was watching this show, popular show Pop the Balloon.
Oh,
and
yeah,
persons
yeah,
come up
yeah,
and
yeah,
say,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
my deal breakers are X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So that probably is the easiest way. Okay, you tell me what, write your deal breakers on a piece of paper. I write my own and we exchange them and we say, okay, yeah, there's a deal breaker. Okay, well, we definitely can't work. Or okay, we could probably move forward from here.
Yeah.
So yeah, be very clear. Yeah, be very clear. And an important thing too as well, you can't, if you're going into a deal, like you must never be afraid of it not happening. Like, so you must always have the power to walk away from a deal. Yeah, let me just say that, you must always have the power to walk away from a deal. So in that, you'll make everything that you want or you desire from the person very clear. Because sometimes persons might hide what some of their deal breakers might be, because they might say, okay, the person might not exactly like this, so I'll hide this from them, and then it pops up later on.
It's like, oh,
I have a little theory concerning that. I believe you can try to hide stuff in a relationship, but it's only a matter of time
before.
If I leave you long
the
enough,
right experiences.
well, the right experiences come in time.
Well, true.
So as you spend more time with the individual, it's only a matter of time before I start to figure out, especially if I am not in the relationship as a passive person. I'm actively trying to get to know you. So if I'm actively trying to get to know David in the first few months of our interaction, he could hide certain things. But if I 3 years lying with David every day, you understand? And now I just lying with
David
him,
friends too,
but I know his friends, I know his family. I'm talking to his family, and I'm actively learning, and then I'm watching him, I'm marking him.
You're coming Malone in church and going,
I must, at some point in time,
pick up Ayak.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll put in David to say a special thing on Ayak. Upcoming show.
Yeah. David put it in now. You mentioned Ayak.
Alright guys, so our production is on the 2nd and 3rd of August at Central Bank Auditorium. The topic is Who Killed God, right? So you want to find out who killed God. Currently practices going on at the moment. Trust me, this place is extremely funny, but it definitely has a spiritual aspect to it as well. I would be acting as, guess what guys?
God?
No. A pastor!
Oh my
days! I would be acting as a pastor. Listen, you have to be there to see that. Why you all don't think I'm possible of being a pastor?
I think
Kareina,
possible with you.
Okay, but wow. And if somebody tell you everything possible with Jesus, that means they don't believe in you whatsoever. But yeah, I'll be acting as a pastor, so you all could definitely stay tuned, go to the Keys Foundation. on Instagram
Spell the
or
keys
Facebook.
first.
Quays. Quays, right? Keys as in South Key.
Nice.
Right, so it's going to be fantastic. You need to be there. Right now, my cousin watching. Janil, you need to get your ticket. She's living
Janil,
south.
you're
Right, cousin Janil, big up yourself. Right, that's it. Yeah.
All right,
Beautiful.
lovely. Nicola.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yes.
Nicola actually responded giving an example. She said, loud chewer. If I can hear you chewing from across the room and we are not in a survival movie, this might not work. It might. So that peeve escalated into a deal breaker, and she knows in her heart of hearts that, hey, this is a strong no from me. I think they have a term for that, that you're easily ticked off by people chewing. I cannot remember what.
No, but that's extremely annoying if somebody's chewing loudly though.
Yeah, I remember having an experience. Somebody was eating an orange, and I was like, exit that room so fast, and the place was quiet. Anyway.
And the thing about, and that's where we come back to what we were talking about deal breakers. That doesn't bother me, Nilis.
Yeah.
Somebody snapping at you. I sort of watch it, I'll be like, okay, you're snapping at you real hard there, boy. But it doesn't bother me. And I think that speaks to what we're talking about when we say that deal breakers are different. But just want to put a wrap on the conversation concerning deal breakers and the married people, because we want to spend some time with deal breakers and the single, or the unmarried rather. The deal breaker for the married person, when you get to know an individual before marriage and you had preparation, you're not supposed to have a lot of surprises. Now, you're always going to learn stuff about people as long as you are married. But some major things, I would hope that you would. Let me phrase it a little different way. There are some people following those people on movies, and after you see somebody for 2 months, you want to marry them. 6 weeks, and you want to marry them. But let me break the news to you: your marriages only have surprises.
Yeah.
You would only have surprises. You don't know this person.
But it's how some people love surprises. I don't know if they like those kind of surprises. They like surprise parties, but a surprise.
But Jayden, what if it was an intense 2 to 6 to 8 weeks? They spend real plenty time with that person.
So it was a crash.
They saw them in trying circumstances. Saw them dive off a boat, save somebody. All them kind of things. All pressure environments. 2 months. That you think that not possible?
I just fight. I don't think it's possible. Okay, why? I just fight with people on this, or argue with people on this regard. I don't care how good you are of an actor. Or I don't care how good you are. No, sorry, let me rephrase. Some people say I am genuine, and from the time you see me, you get to know me. That is who I am.
Yeah, you don't put on no front.
They don't put on no front, so in 6 weeks you can get to know me.
Yeah.
I rubbish that claim all the time. Nobody that has interest in another person and is attracted to them genuinely will just bear themselves just so.
Yeah.
There's always some level. You may have minimal polishing, but there's always some level of polishing to put your best foot forward. Nobody's saying
your best face forward.
Nobody's saying you want to hide up and cloak up and whatever. But I contend that in every individual, in order to attract, just the laws of attraction alone, if I like Kareina, in that initial stage of liking, I would try. And just that fact that I am trying to do or to be better is a front, is a face. And then when the relationship goes on, and the attraction factor just start to get comfortable in yourself, and you stop trying, then you start to see your real self. So I believe everybody puts on some level of something. So to say you meet somebody and in 6 weeks you do everything together, whatever. Yeah, you're still opening card and pulling out chair and all them things.
Like what you said, sometimes persons will say, hey, how you dress up so like you have a date or what? Just by saying something like that shows that people put effort into preparing for a date, at least in the early stages. Sometimes when you start a date for about a little 2 years, some people don't take so long.
You put on your
Crocs, your rubber slippers, your short pants.
You ready, girl?
And you go for like the more of the simple things because you're kind of settling into your relationship. But I agree that you do put your best foot or your best face forward in as much as possible. But of course, you're not trying to trick anybody. At least from my perspective, you shouldn't be trying to trick or deceive.
Well, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's just the natural thing. So
Yeah.
you want to spend enough time with the individual so that you can kind of sort out your deal breakers
Yeah.
before you say I do. Because the thing about it, when you say I do and you sign that deal,
Problems.
the only deal breaker that the Bible give you is infidelity.
Yeah.
So, alright, so you have to really, at that point in time, if it was a deal breaker before, you really had to downgrade it to a pet peeve.
Yeah.
A deal
To
breaker.
knock off some demerit.
Yeah, that's the old boy. I just struggle with this one, or what?
You take it to the Lord in
You
prayer.
take it to the Lord in prayer because, you have to stay there. But
And of course, we will put in a plug for there is counseling as well. And if it really is a challenge that is ebbing its way to the deal breaker within a marriage, we have counsel for that as well.
Merge provides a whole suite of activities. Counseling, couples counseling is the crux of
And
merge.
you would actually be surprised that when we go to like merge meetings and stuff, sometimes you think you alone have this issue
my goodness.
or whatever it is. I am not going to lie to you all. Group therapy or just support.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps you understand that, hey, I'm not alone in this.
My wife is not only the mad one. Then. I'm more wife mad.
This is a common trend across the wives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
just
mean,
joking,
it helps.
guys.
It helps with the support. So join merge.
Yeah,
That's all.
definitely. But
So we're going into the
we're going into the singles domain now. When it comes
and
So-
singles doesn't. Sorry to interrupt you so many times, but singles.
hand was up
just
here,
for-
drop the gavel. The gavel was gonna drop you.
Singles, sorry, but singles in this case just means like you're not married. You're in a relationship, but
Unmarried.
you're unmarried, yeah. So
Yeah.
you're in a relationship.
So for the when you're unmarried, the way you deal with deal breakers are a lot different.
Yeah.
Deal breakers can actually
Watch
cause
David's face, watch David's
cessation of a relationship.
Cessation.
So let me deal even with one of the things that the Bible even gives as when I say the Lord said He did not permit divorce, but because of the hardness of men's heart for infidelity, breaking the marital covenant physically, it is permitted. Even that is treated differently in the context of marriage as it and being unmarried. Because I tell you the truth, if I am unmarried and I have a partner who cheat on me,
Right.
I don't have a second question for him.
No.
No, that is it. That
Jayden,
is
it was a mistake, Jayden.
No, I thank God they make the mistake.
It was
before
a
they get
mistake. What about being forgiven? Christian, come on, man.
Yeah.
Jesus forgive you so many times. You can't forgive your partner.
Don't let me bust your files.
Bust the files. I have no files, so bust the files.
Oh
No,
my
no,
days.
that's why we start off saying, you know, that what may be a deal breaker for me
May not
be a deal
be a
breaker
deal-
for you.
Yeah.
So if you want to take it,
No,
and
no,
you
no,
want to
no.
take the licks.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, Jayden. I definitely agree with you.
So there are certain things I personally, and your guys online, you can share your deal breakers
Yeah.
now. So we're getting into it.
Yes, share it in
What
the chat.
are deal breakers for you?
Even if
Because-
you are married, you could share what
What
were
was it?
deal
Yeah,
breakers for you.
What were
right?
your deal breakers? In other words, it's not a pet peeve. It's not something that just annoys you
Yeah.
and even really annoys you. It is something that if this happens in a relationship, I want out.
Yeah.
If this happens in a relationship, I want out. And again, I would have shared for me, one deal breaker is infidelity in the context of boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
And you prove to be unfaithful to me.
Yeah.
That's a deal breaker.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, a deal breaker for me would be if I catch you bad talking me with anybody.
Mercy.
Anybody.
Yeah.
You can't go and complain to your father, hey, David is a dog, he doing this, that. And after when I step in yours, oh, Pops watching me cut time. No, you must make me look like Jesus to him.
Wait.
Yeah. He's fantastic,
Gentle
phenomenal.
Jesus, meek and mild,
Nothing
right?
wrong as a, although I probably might have get you vexed so on countless times. Yeah.
Yes.
You must
But it's okay.
uphold my image or whatever there is.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
must uphold my image. So somebody who would part up me behind my back as a partner,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
We could have that discussion face to face. You could not curse, but
You could tell it like it is.
Yeah. Tell me like it
or you
is.
sort it out as a
Yeah.
couple or whatever.
But if anybody asks, hey, how you and David? Why? Oh, when's the start that boy and I see it? So I say, what? Farms in the mud, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's a deal breaker for
For me, it would be.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I never thought about that before. It's true.
Because something like that would only escalate when you get married. When you're getting married,
People in your business.
why the color curtains not at a certain many weddings? Why they using that tablecloth? And everybody have an opinion. Yeah.
The behavior is a degrading behavior.
Yeah.
And it's pulling you down.
Yeah.
So if it's pulling you down, I mean, it tells me that you probably don't have my best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And I would like to sleep comfortably with my eyes closed next to somebody who has my best interest at heart. You know, I find that there's a detour quick before I come back. Now I find that real weird that I meet this young lady and I remember lying down in the bed with her one of the first few nights after we come back home from honeymoon, and I was like, well, what made me lie down next to a stranger and close my eyes with one knife and what kind of thing in the house?
It is very.
What made me lie down here?
weird.
I didn't know this girl.
It's very
Where
weird.
you from? And I lie down, get comfortable.
Wait. You just say you didn't know me. Where I'm from?
No, when I mean I
As
didn't
a-
grow up knowing you.
Yeah.
I grew up knowing your family. So there was once a point in time you and I were strangers.
Yeah, for sure.
There was once a point in time you had a life before.
Yeah.
Now let me not think about that. Let me move on.
And I think every couple to some extent may go through that. Hey boy, but this is I trust this person in my life. No, this person is not my husband.
Yeah.
I'm waking up and seeing them every single husband or wife. Waking up and seeing them every single day now, and our lives are intertwined, and I just cannot run away from you. It's like what? I have to work it out. But anyways, one of my deal breakers would have been if the person is a controlling individual. So when I say controlling,
Give us an example about controlling.
so okay,
Yeah.
so like they want to know where you're going all the time, who
What
you're
wrong with
talking to all of the time.
What wrong with that?
And what you're spending money on, they tell you what to spend money.
What wrong with that?
Right?
This person looking up for your financial status to see how you can help you access a loan for the house.
And I mean, they to the point of controlling what it is you're wearing, and it's if it's appropriate, why are you controlling? You know what you're wearing, who you're talking to, how much time you just be calling me, you're not calling me enough times. Things like that. I think those things are red flags. Deal breakers that could lead to bigger potential issues if you should go into a marital relationship. Those things can lead to one manipulative behavior and directly feed into abusive behavior.
Yeah.
If the relationship should continue.
Oh.
I'm not saying that. Hear me out.
I have a come back in. I just waiting for
saying
Karina to finish.
I'm not saying that as your significant other, you all can't have discussions on where you are going. Of course, me and I could just be a little open here. When Jayden and I were dating, of course I'll tell him like where I'm going, whatever. Of course we'll have discussions on what if I'm going to make like a huge purchase. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna do this, but it's not our money yet, anyways, right? So you listen and you accede to the wisdom because if you're thinking about this person as your life partner, you will accede to certain or have that conversation, and you try to come on the same page, but they don't try to lord their way or what they want over you in an act to control your behavior. So I'm not saying you can't discuss certain things while you are not in a marital relationship, but they lording over and then they upset with you if you didn't listen to them or they find that their way is better than yours, kind of thing. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let me hear it.
All I just hear is somebody who is concerned for your safety and well-being. Karina, where you going? How long you going for? I need to know if you're going downtown, so if you're shut down,
And I think you should
I need to get
volunteer.
a car to boom and come and
And I
catch
think you should
town
volunteer
right before the beat up.
information.
Or if you're on the beat up and come and help me with space.
I think you tell your significant other where you're going and who you're going with, whatever, etc. But they don't try to control every single part. If you have a concern, draw it to my attention, but not every single move I make that you should, you know.
So a deal breaker, maybe for somebody, a deal breaker may even be your partner not volunteering that information.
Yes.
So let me say you're in a relationship with a girl, and she just pick up herself and go. She
You don't
tell you
know where
where she's going. You remain quiet because you don't want to be that controlling guy, and she come back. And she never tell you where she went.
What she do.
She never tell you what she do. She never tell you what she eat. Nothing.
She say, I reach back home. Where I went? Don't study that now. Don't study that now.
For somebody out there, I don't know. It probably not a deal breaker for me. It might be a pet peeve, and it may be something that I have to have a conversation with the individual about. But if they don't acquiesce to my request,
what that means?
Then if they don't accede to my request, then it may graduate from a pet peeve to a deal breaker. It may graduate itself, because again, a lot of the deal breakers that we're talking about has certain underpinning traits. And I like that Kareina spoke about a trait and not necessarily. Now, there are behaviors, but the idea behind it is not just to say we are frivolous and we look at a behavior and we break off a good relationship or potentially good relationship because of a particular behavior. But in your own value system, you have to be able to judge behind that behavior what are the chords that connect or disconnect from a particular value. So for example, Kareina's example is a good one where somebody is having controlling behavior. And that may suggest to me that it doesn't just impact the relationship, but there's some underneath, I don't want to use the word, but pathologies.
Undercurrent, probably.
Yeah, I can't find another word. But there are some behavioral pathologies that are toxic in this individual. And that ultimately could lead to not only that problem, but other problems. They may be insecure, they may have issues, they may be actually abusive. So all of those things. And so when we're looking at deal breakers and we continue on the discussion, I don't want us to just look at it as a frivolous surface conversation in terms of, yes, we have to talk about the behaviors because the behaviors are the way in which they manifest themselves. But ultimately we are speaking about pathologies, toxic ways of thinking and behaving that are deeply ingrained into an individual. That in spite of the fact that I may or you may conform, those deep pathologies are ingrained in you. And so I am looking at the surface behaviors to kind of understand the way you think and the way you operate and where you're coming from.
It's like your core values.
Your core beliefs or your core behavioral tenets.
We just want to rope back in our viewers because they are having a whole conversation and we are loving it. Nakem, I hope I'm not butchering your name, Nakem Nelson is saying some of the deal breakers that they have, gambling, smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. Jillian Ovid agrees with Jayden, saying that when she was single, if there was only one piece of unfaithfulness happening, the relationship was over and they moved on. Brian.
What if Jillian never knew?
Well, if she knew, I guess she'd have moved on. Brian is saying not bathing, smoking, if you don't care about others. Jasmine is agreeing with Brian, bathing is a must. That's a deal breaker for Jasmine. So if you are in a relationship with Jasmine,
make sure
Jasmine,
that's a deal breaker for you. You sure, girl?
And Sandra is saying we must. Sandra is saying
big up Jasmine,
very brethren. Right. We must learn to develop trust early in the relationship.
There's a comment by Brian that's further up. I think we missed.
Brian says everything will come out in the open at some point, and you might even learn that you have issues. We really have to spend time with ourselves, knowing and understanding who you are as a person before. So he's talking about self-development, self-growth, self-awareness before actually entering into a relationship with somebody, so that you could value yourself as well. Because I think when you value yourself, you will not allow yourself to be treated in a certain way. If somebody is coming with that controlling behavior or that negative, if you don't care for people, as Brian was saying, you would know that, hey, I'm out. I'm out.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm not taking that.
For me, one thing that is a deal breaker definitely for me, but I wouldn't encounter it because of the circles of females that I would have gone around being single, because I went around 7-day Adventists, females. But you see, smoking, if I pass now and see a female smoking, it turned me on the inside, boy. I don't like smoking in general, men shouldn't smoke, but for me, you see, particularly seeing a female smoke. And I remember I saw this young lady, really well put together, looking real prim and proper.
And she did it.
And she takes one light and start to smoke and puff. I was like, my goodness.
She did the puff,
Yeah, you know, and there are female stuff, I don't even know about it, but I wasn't exposed to that as a challenge because of the religious circle of females that I went around.
Yeah.
Not saying that there are no Adventist women that smoke.
That don't smoke.
I'm not saying that there aren't Adventist women who smoke.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody will
right.
be struggling, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't have that particular problem because of the circles that I went around. So, for me, because of my core values, a deal breaker was your religious background.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is not a boast or no bravo or anything like that, but I've never really been interested in any female outside of my religion.
Okay.
So, because immediately for me, from the time you step to me or I engage or interact with you in any type of way, there was just a X in my mind immediately, just one time. So there was never even a feeling
to develop
to the point. You know, of course, you could admire that there are many beautiful ladies out there, but it never got to the point because simply the deal breaker was manifested out openly that that's not the one for me because that is not my religious. So likewise, if I am in a relationship with a female and because of my religious persuasions, they aren't walking the same religious path as me, that is a major deal breaker. I gone. Sayonara, ciao.
And just to add to that too, well, you said religious, but somebody says in comments too as well, somebody who drinks alcohol. That definitely is a deal breaker. Because I remember one time I was in a wedding and a young lady approached me and she was drinking, it was something, a carib or something, and she was real nice. As soon as I saw the bottle shaking, fans and about nope. Because you don't want to go into a relationship trying to change somebody from their ways. You want them to be, they must be comfortable being themselves around you.
Right.
They must be so you don't want to say here, I see she drinking the alcohol, but I will still try and see if I can get she to turn from drinking the alcohol. Yeah, so it's important to at the point in time when it happens, alright, forget that one time.
David,
don't even waste your time. Because you're wasting your time and you're wasting the person's time too as well.
Yeah, boy, David. I must get a clap for that one, boy. I must get that one. That's a real powerful point. That's real powerful.
That you don't go into a relationship thinking that you need to change.
You want to be the Holy Spirit.
And never look at a deal breaker.
People hardly change
like that.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it.
They might adjust or adapt for the point
she
in
might
time.
drink in front of you.
For the point in time. But then when you find out about it, that's gonna be even worse.
Yeah, 2 years down the line.
Yeah. See, I was a drinker.
Yeah, drunk.
Nicola is saying, leaves with your good iPhone charger like it's part of a relationship package.
Nicola, I feel like that pet peeve. You don't really break up with
So you can't buy back a charger. Well, leave the man with charger and you buy one for yourself, Nicola. How much charger? $80. If so much come now, man.
I know iPhone charger expensive.
No, them call is about $30. In a Chinese store, you get enough for $30. The long one too is about 5 feet. I will start to sell some iPhone charger.
Don't forget Nicola, please.
Yeah.
Just joking, guys. But that's
the person's a thief then.
Well, that is showing your underlying characteristics.
They don't have boundaries. They don't have boundaries.
You know, some people are like that. Some people, you invite them home, right, for the first time. Them checking in
bedroom.
your bed. It's like they're checking in your
Opening door.
It's like, hey boy, you know how long I'm looking for this juice, boy? It's like, you have no boundaries, you have no social etiquette.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? And
And
there are
the
some
person
people-
comfort, making themselves
And that's the
comfortable in
thing.
your house.
And
You
that's the
inviting them into your house. They
Yes.
made themselves
I
comfortable,
totally
and
agree.
you have a problem with that
And
now.
I totally agree.
So what happened?
Because
The
that's
thirsty.
That's the thing. Some persons, they have no problem with that, and other persons, they are totally taken aback by that
Okay,
behavior.
okay.
And sometimes that just can't work out, because how am I going to teach you social etiquette if you really don't see nothing wrong with it?
Yeah, that person.
That could be embarrassing.
That person is socially
And,
awkward.
and, the truth, and you're right.
That
There are
could be
people who
awkward.
there are people who, if you come home by them and you do that, they love you. Like that's what you should do when you come home by me.
Yeah.
That's how you should
Yeah.
be. But clearly for you, that is a no.
That is an offense to some people,
Yeah,
and that could be a deal breaker, because I'll be like, this for me, that's probably a deal breaker.
we
Because
get in there.
Next time anybody here going by Kareina, open your fridge one time.
Because the thing is, I am now seeing down the line, down the future, how are you going to be if I carry you by my family?
Yeah, right.
How are you going to be?
My grandmother for the first time.
If
and
we
they
are
play with
church-
granny eye medication.
If it is, after church now, you come to my church, somebody invite us for lunch somewhere, and you in the people's space, and it's like, you're gonna make me uncomfortable, you're gonna make them uncomfortable, you're embarrassing me, and I can't take embarrassment like that. That is a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker.
That's a
You're like,
deal
you just
breaker.
discovered this deal breaker.
Yeah, you don't know boundaries, personal space, and saying that's a deal breaker.
Well, guys, I'll tell you from now, when I was, you see what I get through? When I was in dating Kareina, you put me to sit down here.
You ain't
I
moving.
sit down here.
And
You asked me to come over there, I come
That
over
was
there.
interesting.
I might move a little wrong a little bit, but I am not that type of individual.
Yeah,
So I know I recognize
Okay,
why I
sure.
was attracted to her.
But yeah,
But that's in a relationship setting.
yeah, that's really important, because you don't want somebody who are wrong you who will be a liability. Because if you carry somebody to an event or something like that, and they're just like, oh my gosh, hands, the elbows on the table, and
Yeah, boy.
coughing,
Yeah.
tinging, kicking
Wow.
people for the, oh gosh, no.
Wow. I would say though, at a point in time, I was struggling to eat a piece of chicken at a knife and fork at a time, right? I could eat a knife and fork, but
Right.
the chicken was real hard, and even
And you
chicken,
had foul, yes.
the chicken fly off the thing.
Oh my days.
I mean,
That's embarrassing,
Yeah,
that's
that's
embarrassing.
But you're guilty to eat a knife and fork. But at that point in time, you know, some people just had a little faux pas or whatever they call it. Yeah, that
Joseph said, I might be the seed soya.
Yes, guys.
Yeah, guys. So yeah, you know, so we're talking about deal breakers, and again, reiterating that these are surface behaviors that really have some deep values or deep pathologies that are underneath the surface that ultimately causes us to be repulsed by that surface behavior. So in the case of this scenario, because let's use Kareina, maybe her family background is train her as such that when you go by people, this is the correct behavior.
Yeah.
But there may be somebody from another family background that taught them that when you go by people, something else is the behavior.
Oh, you have no
So
brought
it's
up see.
culturally, you
It's
know.
not that Dan no brought up, see, that's probably just another.
Yeah.
Probably.
And that's why cross-culture relationships can be a
Important.
little tricky.
Yeah.
Can be a little tricky because if you with a Veni, you're Venezuelan,
Right.
you know, and you don't understand the social cues
Right.
of their background, it can be very awkward at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to understand all of those things when you're getting into a relationship, understand what the deal breakers are, because those things are linked to the value system of the home. You're too frontish, or you don't know your place, you don't have boundaries and stuff.
Personal space.
And those things manifest themselves. Personal space, you talk about that girl. What's now? You just rub a nerve on me, you know? I mean, when you travel, you recognize that every country has its different interpretation of where your personal space lies.
Oh boy.
And I recognize my personal bubble very large. I cannot handle people. You ever sit down in a taxi and somebody wearing a short pants, the whole leg on your
probably
leg?
Oh, yeah.
And
And
I
I
feel
feel
on your leg.
ears on your foot and my
And
foot.
like they're not holding the weight of the leg, the weight of the leg on you. You know what I just do? I just move my leg a little quicker and I'm way back. Yeah, catch the point now. So they lose the support and then
And hopefully they realize that the foot in the wrong place.
yes, like And nothing is wrong with them, you know. It's just that for me, that is a part of my upbringing. There's personal space and those types of things. So and that leads us back, circling back to where we started, which is somebody made the comment that when you're getting into a relationship, you have to know yourself. Yeah. You have to understand yourself and what are your deal breakers, because your deal breakers are a window into your acculturation and your whole belief system, your values and your core. So religious beliefs that were put on you, cultural, whether you're African, Indian, Chinese, whatever you may be, those things have different belief systems and packages that come with it. Yeah. And those things make its way sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it makes its way into what are deal breakers and what aren't.
So we spoke about, in the unmarried context, deal breakers like infidelity. Did we speak about religious differences, political differences, controlling behavior, personal space, boundaries? I mean, what y'all think about deal breaker? Like something being like financial immaturity. Like when I say that, like the person is not really good with money. Do you think irresponsible?
They're not good with money, or they don't have money.
Oh my gosh! So now we question if they have a job.
Okay.
They're irresponsible with money. That's just what
so they're earning.
Okay.
But they probably loose-handed with money and stuff. You think that could be a deal breaker, or that's just how they are?
That's a deal breaker for. That's a deal breaker for everybody. Everybody associated with them. Here's why. Here's why. You see, if you go out to the person, they probably mightn't have money at that point in time, or they probably not paying for the date or whatever. But when they are paying for something, they just probably, I want this.
Right.
So, but you paying and say, I want this. And you're like, whoa. You know I paying for this, but that's their normal habit where they go, they spend their money, so they probably might be expecting the same from you. So that could probably be a deal breaker, because they're putting a strain on the next person as well.
Yeah, I like that. And again, you know, so deal breakers may be different, and I'll stop saying it after I say it this time. It's different for everybody, because somebody may actually have money and like want somebody to spend their money. Mm-hmm. That, I mean, it have all kind of weird. I recognize when it comes to the topic, I love it. Have all kind of strange likes and dislikes and stuff, and there's no cookie cutter mold for exactly what you supposed to and what you're not supposed to, unless it comes to an issue of immorality. I think a big deal breaker for some people, and I've seen it a lot throughout my life, is having children or not having children.
Yeah, I see.
I think that's a big deal breaker.
I just want to, before we swing into that very good of that deep end there, somebody actually commented and said, yes, finances is a big thing. How can you be making more than minimum wage and still have no money? No. You see, I think this can definitely be a deal breaker, as David said, with regards to, yes, what you shared, and also your financial practices and your habits. It just kind of shows where your mind is at. Probably you have no responsibilities to take care of at that point in time, so you are just probably
more liberal.
You're more liberal with your spending, but yes, I think you have to reevaluate, like being a proper, well, at least in our context and our religious context, of being a proper steward, you know, of what is entrusted to you, what you make. Are you going to invest it? What are you going to buy? Are you going to buy assets? Are you putting your money in liabilities? Are you just traveling every single, like 3 times a year or more? You just hopping off on a plane, and I mean, maybe you have
miles. People have miles.
Yeah. Maybe you have investments offshore, but are you really being financially responsible investing into our future? Because you're looking for traits now. I think this is very deal breaker, kind of not deal breakers, the attributes of people kind of segue into looking for a future partner. So is it that you are looking to invest in your future life with whomever it might be, and that financial irresponsibility might kind of turn you off, because you say, hey, this person may not be serious at this point in time, or maybe that is really a inherent characteristic that they have. some people are spenders, some people are savers, but I think if you're really serious about your future, you could kind of balance it and you could enjoy life, but also be financially responsible at the same time. So that's just my whole big thing to say. You should be financially responsible and enjoy life.
Yeah, that is important.
We getting all Kareina thoughts here today, this evening. You're like, yeah, no, but she like, you know, she like those types of things. So yeah,
I was gonna comment on what you just said about me. Like, if let's say I have a specific lifestyle as an individual or as an adult, I think you as an adult must be able to foot the own bill of your lifestyle.
Okay.
So you shouldn't put that burden on your partner, whether they have money or not. You must be able to do whatever you need to do. So even if I am not there, you could still go and spend all the money that you want and still be able to survive. So I mustn't be because he didn't buy that for me, he probably really don't love me, but or they probably just have different point of views. So you must be able to simply foot the lifestyle or your own, for the bill of your own lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because for me, if being single, right, not married, you have to. I study how much for cement and bricks.
Well, yeah.
Everything is here. Just for fair, that's true.
Yeah, boy.
They cement bricks. And we really like go and spend probably $900 at a restaurant. That's plenty money.
Yeah.
I spend, and some people will go and spend that kind of money in a restaurant. And after they wake up Sunday morning, bread and cheese. You go from lamb and think to bread and cheese, nah, brother.
That's a real big jump.
That big, you didn't even jump in, you and the crumb.
Yeah, I mean that was a big thing for us too. You know, getting into a relationship, financial management was a big thing for us. Of course, you know, we too, in the whole-minded, while we're in a relationship, your mind on construction, you're building your home, that kind of thing. So for me, I used to calculate it by the blocks, calculated by the bag of cement. That's how much money I spent tonight anyway. How much bag of cement I could have by you could have moved forward, you know. So I think, you know, getting somebody who is on that same wavelength with you is important.
Yeah.
Because I met somebody who is on that same wavelength and could have better me in that regard and could have, you know, encourage and push forward with, so that now your desires, now you start to move further rather than finding yourself with somebody who pulling in the opposite direction. You know, just live your life now, boy. You understand? Wants to die. Yeah, but I want when I die, I want my children to have something.
I must leave my children broke and them suffering too. Oh gosh.
And I mean, Brian, thanks so much for commenting. Brian is saying making too many investments without thinking about it. You ever met somebody like that? They always, any new thing come up, yeah, but I put some money inside that. Hey, you see the new thing that, and they're not really thinking about it. Maybe they are trying to be financially responsible, but somehow
no, they're impulsive.
They're impulsive. It's just like you have impulsive spenders, they probably have impulsive investors. That's interesting. Joseph is saying, you can never be high maintenance on someone's dime. That's true. Is, you know, I could see that. Crazy. I could literally see that statement on like a background or something, you know, on like on a jersey or something.
We just sell cars when they costing too much to maintain. But on another note, I'm wanting to just move the conversation along quickly because we have to wrap up shortly. Of course, we always enjoy spending time with you guys online. There are so many deal breakers that we can't possibly go through all of them tonight, but I just want to share a few and see if anything resonates with us as we go on. As we talk about, we talk about financial irresponsibility, we talk about not wanting or wanting children, that may be a deal breaker for some. Hygiene issues, lack of ambition or work ethic. If a person lazy, that may be a deal breaker. Anger issues, lack of trustworthiness, lack of effort or emotional unavailability.
Wow.
A big one there,
Remember.
That's too deep for me to handle. Jane, I will handle that one.
Basically, I mean, go ahead, Jane.
No, you go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, sometimes, you know, you're giving your all in a relationship, right? And you kind of like getting I'm gonna use the training with the scrums, right? You get these scrums.
Not the crumbs, it's scrums.
Yeah, you had to put an S on
from
it.
Trinidad, that's Trini for crumbs.
Yeah, you get these scrums. Everybody is prioritized
except you,
and you giving your all, you doing everything. Cool. You're doing all the right things. And to me, it goes kind of back to what I was saying about self-worth and awareness and valuing yourself. If you value yourself, you won't allow yourself to be treated like that way by an emotionally unavailable person, because they're clearly showing their true colors. I mean, and you don't want to go into a relationship like that where you basically, you know, washing their feet with your tears and drying it with your hair.
Wow.
Right?
Alabaster.
So, you know?
But we have a culture now of industrialization. And a lot of people working, you know, the working man, the working woman now. A lot of people emotionally unavailable due to the career now, and they're workaholics. So some people committed to the career. They're a doctor, they're a lawyer, whatever they may be, a teacher, and that's all they're doing. They're just at it. Maybe they're an entrepreneur, they have a business. And you want to find time to talk to them, but they just never have time to, because that's all.
But that's all.
What's up the busy, Kareina?
But that
the
is
busy.
all. That's all. But you know, I can't forget the online audience, because as we wrapping up, the numbers climbing, boy. Praise the Lord. Jasmine is saying, well, Sister Takisha is saying, Hudlin, big up you. What about 50-50? This was talking about, I think, on the financial part of it. Like if you go to a restaurant and you split the bill 50-50, and
that 50-50 doesn't even, no, that was just rubbish. That 50-50 one time, because I order salad and you order ribs, and there are no 50-50 ribs, bro. You buy ribs, I buy salad for to be something dollars, right? Overpriced salad. And lettuce is $10 on the road, right? I don't buy my belly and pay to something dollars for my salad.
And we have Zakira.
Zakira.
Yes, Zakira. Well, Jasmine has commented. Well, Zakira is saying a person that is selfish and not generous is definitely a deal breaker.
Generous? Zakira, explain generous
for David.
Yeah, I don't know what generous means. Give an example.
Give an example.
While Zakira gives an example, I want to ask the question that I have here. Can a deal breaker become acceptable if the person is amazing in other ways? So this was a deal breaker. That was a deal breaker for you. It is a
With a different person.
let me paint a scenario. A young lady comes. Her dream in her mind was always to have children. From the time she was small, she wanted 2 children. She saw the house on the prairie. She saw everything. It was painted picture perfect. And she meets this guy, and he doesn't want children, or he cannot have children, either or. But he's amazing in everything else. He's a good financial provider. He's an emotional support.
He's a good
He's a religious and spiritual guy. You know, he's good with your family. The family loves him.
Sports.
But this major thing that you held in your heart all your life to produce children, to be a mother.
No, this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people.
I was going to make a joke, but because Kareina said that,
I'm
not going to say my joke.
And we do recognize that it is a sensitive topic, because there are many people who want to be parents
and cannot.
They can't have, or there are persons who even who attempted to be parents and would have miscarried or other things of the sort. And we're not making light on anyone's scenario, situation, but we're just dealing with the facts of life, that there are persons who this was a deal breaker for them. And now you meet somebody who's everything. Would you be willing, I guess this is a personal question, would you be willing to accept that deal breaker if the person is amazing in other ways, in every other way?
So it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Guys online,
I could answer
necessarily
that.
have to be the children one, but other one.
I could answer the children one. Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me.
Alright.
Yeah, that's definitely a deal breaker for me. I understand the situation, however, but it's a deal breaker. And I wouldn't want. I heard somebody say something. Don't try to like something that you don't like. And you kind of putting yourself in a situation that you probably might regret probably 3 years later or 5 years later, and you probably say, I probably should already probably end relationship or wherever it was when person say I don't want to have children, or probably I cannot have children. I probably should have ended the relationship and just be upfront and say, here, well, I really respect you, I love you, however, this is a deal breaker for me.
And it's kind of like you know, some people have illnesses, right?
Yeah.
And that might be a deal breaker for some.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
serious
yeah.
things of
Yeah.
life, right? Like
Yeah.
it could be a deal breaker. Like I know of a situation where somebody had an illness, and you know, from the outside you'd never know, but then you know they had this illness, and I see that how it could have been a deal breaker for certain people.
Yeah.
You
For
know?
me, concerning the deal breaker with the children, it's dependent upon, unfortunately, because people can notice and manipulate you, but it's dependent upon at what stage in the relationship I find this out.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I find it out, let's say Kareina and I, just using us, we're going around, she's an amazing individual and I really think that we have a future, and then she breaks the news to me that she cannot have children, I would really consider it at that point in time. And even possibly even get counseling.
Okay.
So you know just break it off because, well, I wanted children and this person can have children. But I really think she's a good one, and I want to get counseling through this because I held this very close to my heart all my life, and now this is the reality. Get counseling through that process. And anybody who's going through something similar, I would encourage you to get counseling through the process because, as David was rightly saying, you alone, between you and God, knows what you could live with and what you know. But I can tell you, sometimes God directs your life in strange ways.
Sure.
Because sometimes you wanted children, but that wasn't God's plan for your life. God had another plan. You know, and I'll share my testimony here with meeting Kareina, in that when I met Kareina, I was bent, I'm going to say HE hockey sticks, but that's not a good phrase to put in here. I was bent on doing mission work. So you see why it wasn't good to put it. I was rearing up to be a global missionary and did training abroad and that kind of thing. And my life goal was to not situate myself in Trinidad.
Right.
My life was to be, have a base in Trinidad, but do mission a couple of years outside in different stints. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I felt God had called me to. And meeting Kareina, I always, before I met her, to me it was I was going in the jungle in Africa, you understand, in India, you understand, like on the floor, in the mud and all kind of things. That's how I envisioned mission work at the time, right? I was none the wiser. Didn't know you could be a city missionary. So I was thinking about frontier mission. And then when I met Kareina, I recognized she has allergies to bee stings, and it's chronic. So immediately I recognized, but this girl can't do bush. And if ants bite her, her whole foot swell up like a balloon.
Ooh.
And she can't wear shoes. I was like, this girl can't do bush. You know, and it became, after getting to know her, I had to come to the realization that is either her or this mission thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, at least frontier mission.
this frontier mission, and thank God, you know, God used my relationship with Kareina to actually refine my purpose and my calling. So I realized that God had a specific place for me in mission, and it wasn't necessarily out there. It was actually doing a specific mission project. You'll find out about that on the next episode. You know, and so God kind of directed my path using this person coming into my life. So I just saying that to say that, you know, the Bible says the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. Whatever situation you may be in a relationship with somebody who has something that you consider a deal breaker. If they are amazing in other ways, don't just cut it off. Even if it is a deal breaker for you, don't just cut it off. Preferably consider it, and even if you have to, talk to somebody who you trust about it, and talk to God, and then move accordingly, make a decision. Yeah?
So, you wrapping up?
Yeah, we wrap it up.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the discussion, and I hope the viewers did too. I really enjoyed the interaction with the viewers as well. It was lit. Now, remember to share this video. Remember, we said that we're promising somebody something if they share this. How many ever times? Just send me a picture. We want to know if you all did share it, indeed. Put in the chat, you know, if you enjoyed it, what you want to see next time, although we have a topic for next time already, so we could consider.
You want to tell us the topic?
Yeah, Jayden, tell us the topic just now. Hi, Jayden. Jayden is reading.
I'm reading.
Jayden's reading.
And I'm one of those guys that
But-
takes long to read.
Yes.
My wife reads
Is
faster
that a
than she.
deal breaker, guys? Your significant other takes long to read. Anyways,
Yeah.
we just want to say, we love having you. We love being here. And David, do you have any closing thoughts on this deal breaker topic? I mean, we kind of touched the surface, but it was real good.
Just be upfront, be honest with whoever it is you're meeting with or dealing with. Just be upfront. Alright, this is my deal breakers. This is probably not a deal breaker, and try and don't hide anything. Be upfront, be honest with the person. I can't do this. I don't want to put in raisins in rice.
Oh,
That is a deal breaker. And which it is a deal breaker for me. Sorry. Can't put raisins in rice. Are you a criminal? Yeah. So yeah, be honest with your deal breakers, and don't try to like what you don't like.
Yeah.
Don't try to like
I
what you
like
don't
that
like. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anything?
Nope, that's it.
That's it from you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us. My final statements are really what I've been saying all along, which is remember, deal breakers are things that really helps you to learn about you and the things that you like, your preferences, your desires, your goals in life. And so sometimes deal breakers are indicators in relationships. So if you bounce up something where somebody's hitting a deal breaker, you want to look into that. You don't want to ignore it. Because chances are it's connected to something deep within your value system or your desires or your goals in life, etc. So you want to pay attention to what are your deal breakers, because it tells you a lot about you. What are your partner deal breakers? It tells you a lot about them. And when you all come together, we trust that your relationships will be successful, that you one another, so that your marital relationship will have a bunch of surprises. All right. And so that you can have lifelong love. So we thank you for joining us. We will be here next month. We sorry we can't do this every week, guys.
I want to thank the hostess for having us as well.
Yes, guys.
The police didn't come for us.
Yeah.
We squatting.
Yeah.
The police didn't come for us. LSA didn't come for us. Thank God. We just want to.
Yeah. You all mentioned in the beginning why we.
Well, no.
Well, guys, what happened was Satan didn't want this podcast to come off.
Just play with the light switch.
And so he went to Tiantec this evening and he switched off the lights in our whole area. Alright, so the entire region there, I wouldn't tell you where I live in.
Yeah, don't tell them. The entire region was in darkness, and
yeah, so we had
thank
to
God that
ask
we
somebody
stepped into the marvelous light.
yeah, for some lodging. So we thank the hostess for having us here. We thank you all for joining us. We will be here next month, guys, as I was mentioning. We'll be online next month. And as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying.
That's okay. I mean, Shaniqua is chiming in that her one deal breaker is a lazy man.
Okay.
But Shaniqua, you don't have a lazy man. You have a Dennis man, Shaniqua. Caviar Dennis man.
And the next month's program is.
Next month's program will be next month.
Yeah.
We try to do this more frequently, as you also last year we tried to do the merge minis. Based upon our lifestyle, guys, we're being honest with you all, it's just not sustainable. We have a lot of stuff going on, as you all know. David and stuff has the IACT Keys Foundation every Friday night and stuff. We have church practicing, rehearsals, the band, music.
We're just being transparent, guys.
You know, so as much as we heard you all and we hearing you all, we wanted more frequently. We wanted more frequently too, but it's just not possible at this time. We'll try to see if we can do something else and to keep this thing going. But for now, it will be monthly until the end of the year. We will see all monthly. Next month we are dealing with the topic. Oh my gosh, it's a weird topic.
Oh, you know it, right?
Yeah, it's a weird topic. Can you be friends with your ex? Or should you be friends?
Oh my.
You're gonna join us next month. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Yeah.
We are always better together.
Better
with you. Good night, everyone.
Bye.